if you're a gym owner, overwhelmed, working endless hours, feeling like you're getting nowhere, it's Groundhog Day every day, then this next lecture series is just what you need. We're going to talk about the perfect week as a gym owner and how you can unlock 10 extra hours in your week and double your impact. Make more of an impact with the people that you serve, your members, and spend more time for yourself, whether it's for your own training, whether it's just fucking go outside and enjoy a cup of coffee or a beer with your mates, or actually spend time with your loved ones. I'm Coach Jens, and I have transformed hundreds of gyms through the Gym Owner Network. I've transformed their lives, transformed their businesses. I've added on average £183,000 to annual revenue for the average amount of gyms that we work with last year alone. And I run March On Gyms, the best gym in the UK, if not further afield. So I do know a little thing or two. It's YouTube. I have to say it so you know who I am. But if you don't know who I am, I can help. And I was once a gym owner like you, overwhelmed, stressed out, and didn't know where to start. There's too many plates spinning, too many things on the table. So let's dive deep. Some of the biggest problems that you're going to face when it comes to time management, so to speak, is number one, just the constant feeling of overwhelm, right? The constant feeling like there's so much to do, so little time, and you don't really know where to start. And it's really, really frustrating. I get it. I've been there. One of the other struggles is just you're not looking after yourself. So we talk about paying yourself first. You're not paying yourself first. You are sacrificing your own energy, your own health, your own sleep, your own relationships, because you're like, the business needs this. The business needs this from me now. And once I do this, then it'll be okay. Once I get to 150 members, then I'll be okay. Once I make 20 grand a month, then I'll be okay. And you're constantly putting yourself last. And then fundamentally, you are not being consistent. You're lacking consistency, all right? And these are some of the big struggles, the big problems that are kind of consistency. These are the big things that are kind of staring at you every single day. And I totally get it. I've been here. I've literally been here. It's like, fuck, where do I go? There's so much to do. Is it the email that I need to send? Is it the partnerships? Is it that I need to keep with the referrals? Is it my programming? Do I need a mentor? Do I need to hire another coach? Can I afford another coach? What does the accountant say? Like, it's just a head fuck. When it comes to paying yourself first, it's like, oh, I just need to get over this hurdle, then it'll be okay. And then here is like, you start with good intentions. This Monday, you're like, fresh set of 7, sharp Monday, let's go. You go hard Monday, you start fail Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're crawling through to Friday. It's Saturday, you spend the rest of Saturday afternoon and Sunday literally resting because you're so fucked. And you're like, next week will be better. And guess what? It's not. You start off with all that enthusiasm only to die a death. So this doesn't have to be your reality, okay? There is another way. And if you listen to some of the things we're going to do in this little series, we're going to be able to redefine your week. Number one, you're going to have structure, and you're going to know what your priorities are. So you're going to know where to kind of attack first. Okay? Number two, you're going to pay yourself first because you understand the benefits for you and the business. It's a mindset shift. And then finally, over 3, you're going to create a system that makes sense. This is where we need to get to. Time management is all the rage right now. Everything around productivity and all that shit. And to be honest, I'm getting so sick and tired of people on the internet trying to tell you how to do this. And they're just regurgitating from books they've read or just chucking it through ChatGPT. but they haven't done it themselves. They haven't been a gym owner like you, dealing with a very small, intimate team, dealing with a bunch of members who are like, oh, Genzo, not going to be able to make 6 p.m. tonight. Can you move me to 7? And you feel the need to respond to those things because she's one of your OG members. You can't delegate her off to the new guy. She wants you. And all these things are just like manifesting itself into you. You know you need to delegate. You know you need to manage your time better. You know that time management is the thing you need to sort, but you don't know where to start. So let's fix it. So if we're going to nail this, the real thing that we need to try and navigate is just think about how this will benefit you in the long run. And much like any system change, any system upgrade, there is going to be a moment of loading, right? Uploading this into the thing, and then you now learning how to do it. And that learning phase, that initiation phase, that accumulation phase is just like programming, all right? There's going to be a phase in the program where these movements are going to feel new. They're going to feel different. They're going to hurt a little bit. You're going to get more DOMs from that easy exercise that you hadn't done in such a long time than the heavy lat rows you've been doing before. However, it's only because it's new and it's different, and change must feel different. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Don't look to just throw it out, right? And it's with these shifts in behavior, in adopting new systems, that when it does feel uncomfortable in the beginning, you just need to go with it because you know why it matters in the long run. And the big thing is you establishing the meaning, the why. Now, we've done this with hundreds of gyms. Like I've said, we've had gym owners go from coaching 60 hours a week to now being able to run their business in less than 10 hours a week. Complete opposite ends of the spectrum. They've built a team, they've learned to lead, they've learned to delegate, they've learned to empower their staff. They're running the profitable model, and fundamentally, they've now afforded the opportunity to do so. That particular guy is a guy called Lee Idzi, pro footballer, and been able to run his gym. He's been able to do both. How awesome is that? We have other stories of other gym owners stuck doing 35 hours a week of coaching and then still trying to manage the business. There's so many stories where we've completely transformed that around. And fundamentally, you can do that too, all right? So if we're going to do it, here's the reality, okay? First and foremost, we need to structure the week and have some priorities. Now, when it comes to the growth of your gym, it's always going to be based on the Gym Owner Network triangle, okay? So a highly profitable gym, those are pound signs, insert your currency there. We've got marketing, sales, product, all right? These are the 3 horsemen, so to speak, the 3 key cogs to get this thing turning. Marketing, what are the things we're doing to bring leads into the business? Sales, what is it that we're selling? Is it a good offer? And how well is our sales performance? And then product, how good is our product? Is it high value? Do people pay a lot of money for it? And how long do people stay? How many people are leaving? So this is a real important diagnostic, something to aim for. Marketing, are we getting 30 organic leads a month? If no, your organic marketing is terrible. Sales, of those, are we converting at least 50% of those into a front-end offer? If not, your marketing might be shit or your sales function might be shit. You need to navigate that a little bit deeper. And then finally, product. Is your attrition, if you're a small group personal training gym, less than 3%? If you're a large group, less than 5%. Fundamentally, those are some of the key markers. Now, purely doing that exercise, if you have a huge cross against something that isn't working, that's where your priority is. If it's everywhere, then your priority is product first. Nail the product so we're not wasting money on marketing, not wasting time on sales efforts, only for them to churn and burn as they come through. Okay, so if you want a little bit of a shift right now, it's that. So then, the next thing that actually makes this whole thing skyrocket and turns it into an arrow to the fucking moon is leadership. How well are you leading your team, delegating your team, spending time training your team, working through processes together, being able to make this way more efficient, way better? How can they start to own these roles? So when it comes to structuring your week, this is how you want to do it. You want to make sure that you're establishing opportunities to lead your team, right? Lead yourself with data. You want to then make sure that there's enough significance towards the product. Are we aligning on the program for the week as a team? Are we aligning on the intention of said product to the members? Are we aligning as a team as to the nuance, whether it's progressions or regressions or scaled and RS? Are we aligning on our opportunities to make it individualized for our members? Are we aligning on whose roles and responsibilities on the floor to make sure member experience is paramount? All these things, like, are we aligned? Are we investing time into that? Then, once those are checked, you want to make sure you're always marketing. So at the bare minimum, if you have a marketing problem, give me an hour a day of marketing efforts. An hour a day of marketing efforts, whether it's on socials, whether it's socials and email, whether it's socials, email, and local businesses. Start with something that you know is easy and just be consistent with that. And then finally, are we having enough sales opportunities that we can then, therefore, start to determine how well are we closing those things? And if that's an error, then we need to put our hands up and ask for help. Now, as much as you can come to the Gym Owner Network and have tremendous success like so many other gyms have, you don't have to come and pay us money for you to get better at sales. You can get obsessed with wanting to be better, spend a few hours on YouTube like you're doing now, and guess what? You'll probably upgrade your sales ability. So, first things first is that's your priorities, like that. Then when you structure the week, on a Sunday night, you want to make sure that you've looked at the data from the previous week, you've looked at your key priorities, set some targets for the week ahead, and you've been able to create some priorities for the team as well, and then either prepared the email that you're going to send to them first thing Monday morning, prepared for the meeting you're going to have on Monday morning, and or you can send it on a Sunday night if it's okay for you to message your team on a Sunday. Then on a Monday, you want to make sure that the team's aligned, they're executing on their things, and you're chasing the leads that came in over the weekend. All right. On a Tuesday, you're then thinking about CPD, driving product, etc. On a Wednesday, you want to make sure that the culture is really good as a team, spending time with your team from a leadership standpoint, midweek, good vibes, elevating, gathering momentum into the rest of the week. You're then going to go into this next phase where now you're thinking, how many leads have we generated here? How much time can we dedicate to sales and marketing again? Friday, you're already starting to look back at the performance of the week and start to think, what changes do you want to make the week after? That in itself is a far better way for you to start to organize your headspace and your priorities on how you do so. As you're watching this, I'll have the team chuck up a little illustration of a perfect week. This is a 46-hour working week with all the little details of where you could spend your time. Have a look, take a screenshot, use it as you please. All right, welcome back. The next thing is then pay yourself first. Now this is really, really important, and this is a non-negotiable. And for me and my story, for those of you who don't know, I've lost over, I've lost a fuck ton of weight, but over 30 kilos over the last 8 years. And it wasn't until about 2 years ago where I just made the decision that I'm going to stop playing this card like I'm sacrificing myself for the business, that the business matters that much to me. And I was doing shit that was like not looking after myself, not spending time with my family the way I want to, not nourishing myself the way I need to. And it was just allowing me to be stuck at a fat, lazy, stressed out version of myself, and not the version that I believe myself to be. And it wasn't until I was like, fuck that, I'm going to be way more selfish. I'm going to focus on myself, because I knew that I can't pour from an empty cup, and yet I was for a long time, and I was being stubborn to do so. So I flipped the narrative, and for the next quarter, I said to myself, fine, I can sacrifice not hitting KPIs. I can sacrifice not hitting targets for this next quarter, but this next quarter is for me. So I doubled down. my nutrition, my sleep, everything. It was like me first, me first, me first. Something came on my plate, I was like, no, me first. And for someone who was always giving of himself to others, it was the complete opposite end for me, which felt really weird, but change felt different. Lo and behold, what happened over that period? I lost the weight, I got more energy, I was way more efficient with my time, I led better, the businesses grew, and we had the best quarter we'd ever had in that phase because I paid myself first. The reality is the narrative you're telling yourself as to why you can't train then, or why you shouldn't do this, whatever. If the outcome is you're stressed out, you're overworked, you're overwhelmed, you're not prioritizing your time, you've got a to-do list that's never getting shorter, you're ending the day feeling like you haven't really moved the needle, then this is for you. Give yourself a proper slap in the face and go, I need to do better. What do I need to do to actually put skin in the game to make a change? Because your way isn't working, much like mine wasn't. Really important. And then finally, go and create the system. So go and create the system where, like I showed you, that kind of those days, those theme days, create a system now where you block out time, detail as to what the key intent is of those time blocks, and how you're going to win. What is going to allow you to win that day? So one of the best things I can say to you at this stage is block out the things that you value most. For me, making sure that I can attend my son's football practice, being there present, not being on my phone, just enjoying that moment, just watching, that's really important to me. I want to block that out and be there. Knowing that I can get home at night and I've done my socials, I've done my posts, I've done my work, I've done whatever, so that I can be present at dinner and not feel like my head needs to be in another space. So how am I going to navigate that? And perhaps you don't see it that way because you're like, oh, I don't have time for that right now. It's like, well, at what point are you going to be forced to make time? Is it when your partner's leaving you because you haven't been present for the last 2-3 years building your business? Is it when your kids resent you because you haven't been present for the last 2-3 years because you've been building your business? The reality is that we all have this allowance of time, and how we use that time is based on your priorities, and your priorities are based on the stories you tell yourself as regards to how you're spending your time. Flip the narrative. Memento mori. You're gonna die anyway. Sort it out. So create the system, hold the standard. If you were an athlete and you had a coaching team around you who was like, we want to get 8 hours a night of sleep, we want to train here, we want to sleep here, we want to nap here, we want to eat this, we want to get this amount of protein, your speed sessions, your recovery sessions, that's the level of detail you might need to go into to treat yourself like a little bit of a CEO athlete. Now, you probably own a gym that makes around 200 to 500 grand a year. You're not really a CEO, but take it, pretend you are. If you were running a £5 million gym business, would you act a little bit differently? Would you show up differently? Would you hold yourself at a higher standard? Because the reality is, if you want to be the person you want to become, you need to adopt those behaviors, those identities, those thought processes right now. And if you do that right now, the evolution of that's pretty cool. So, time management, all the rage. It's all bullshit. Everything you watch, whether it's the Pomodoro effect, time blocking, theme days, whatever, they're all tactics. At the core root of all of it is you are fucking shit with your time and you haven't established why. Double down on that and make sure that when you invest your money, which is your time, into where you spend your fucking time and attention, I guarantee you're going to flip the narrative. You're going to flip the switch a little bit. And then you want to ask yourself, how much more can I do with less? And that That's the golden nugget on top. Growth by subtraction. I hope you love it. I'm Coach Jens. We're the Gym Owner Network. We are the place where gym owners come to turn pro, to buy back time, to make more money, to live a better life, to look at your business with a hell of a lot of pride, and fundamentally grow something that you're truly, truly proud of. We do it really well. We've done it in so many different markets. In fact, in over 14 different countries. It's what we do, and we can help you. But even if you don't come work with us, I truly believe this video and any of the others that we produce will be impactful for you. The growth-minded, ambitious individual who wants to do more with their life. Be high-performing, make an impact with the people that they serve. Because ultimately, it's a privilege to get to do what we do. All right, sweet.